The drums of Mali thunder beneath a darkening sky. In the royal court of Niani, a prophecy was spoken. A crippled boy, mocked and despised, will rise to become the Lion of Mali, the one who will unite the lands. No one believed it, until he did. This is a story of Sundiata Keita, the boy who could not walk, yet would one day shake the earth clock hat. Long before Europe's renaissance or the rise of the Atlantic empires, a mighty kingdom flourished in the heart of West Africa, the Mali Empire. Its founder, Sundiata Keita, is more than a historical figure. He is a legend, a myth, and a symbol of African unity and resilience. From the banks of the Niger River, his story was passed down for centuries by the griots, the oral historians of the Mande people. His journey, filled with betrayal, exile, and triumph, would later echo in modern tales, even inspiring Disney's A Lion King. But Sundiata's story is no fantasy. It is one of destiny, blood, and the unbreakable spirit of a people. Before Mali's rise, the land was part of the Ghana Empire, the first great trading empire of West Africa. When Ghana fell in the 11th century, smaller Mande kingdoms emerged, among them Kangaba, home of Sundiata's people. It was a time of chaos. Rival kings fought for gold, land, and control of trade routes connecting Saharan salt mines to Sudanese gold fields. In Kangaba, a local ruler named Maghan Konfata ruled with wisdom. One day, a hunter prophesied he would marry a woman of great destiny, though she would be ugly and strange. He found her, Sogolin Kedju, a hunchback woman of mysterious power. Their union gave birth to Sundiata, a boy who could not walk for the first 7 years of his life. Marked as a crippled prince, Sundiata's story began not with strength, but with struggle. Sundiata's childhood was one of ridicule. His stepmother, Sassouma Barit, despised him and plotted to place her own son, Dan Karen Chuman, on the throne. But destiny cannot be mocked forever. One day, as his mother wept over the insults they endured, Sundiata rose. With trembling hands, he grasped an iron rod, and, before the eyes of the entire court, he lifted himself and broke it in two. The boy who could not walk stood tall. From that day, his people began to whisper, "The lion has risen." But soon after, tragedy struck. His father died. Sassouma seized power, and Sundiata and his mother fled into exile. 4 years, they wandered across West Africa, from Mema to Ouagadougou, gathering allies, learning warfare, and waiting for the time to return. By the time Sundiata reached manhood, Mali was in chains. A ruthless sorcerer king named Samunguru Kunte of the Soso had conquered the Mande lands. His tyranny spread fear across the savannah, burning villages, enslaving rulers, silencing griots. But in exile, Sundiata had become a warrior. When the elders of his homeland called him back, he answered with fire. In 1235, on the fields of Kirina, two destinies collided. Samunguru, wielding dark magic and commanding legions, faced Sundiata's disciplined army, united under the banner of the lion. The griots say the clash shook the heavens. Spears shattered shields, and the earth itself trembled under hoofbeats. Sundiata confronted Samunguru and used his own magic, an enchanted arrow tipped with the essence of destiny, to break the sorcerer's power. With that, the Soso were destroyed, and the Empire of Mali was born. After his victory, Sundiata Keita united the Mande clans and proclaimed the Mali Empire. He rebuilt the capital at Niani, reorganized trade routes, and brought peace to the lands once torn by war. Under his rule, Mali became one of the richest and most powerful empires in African history. Gold from Bambuk and Bua flowed through his markets, exchanged for salt, ivory, and cloth. He established the Gbara, a great council of nobles, and a code of law that emphasized justice and unity, one of Africa's earliest constitutional systems. Though Sundiata's reign ended around 1255, his dream endured for centuries, carried on by kings like Mansa Musa, whose wealth would later dazzle the world. Long after his death, Sundiata's story became legend, sung by the Griots as the Epic of Sundiata. It was a tale of hope, destiny, and resilience, of how a boy born weak rose to greatness through courage and faith. Centuries later, echoes of his life inspired modern works, including Disney's The Lion King, with its themes of exile, destiny, and return. But unlike the cartoon, Sundiata's story was real and far more powerful. His legacy endures not just in books and songs, but in the soul of Africa itself. Sundiata Keita's life reminds us that greatness often begins in weakness, that destiny waits not for the strongest, but for the most determined. He was born crawling, yet died standing above empires. And though centuries have passed, his roar still echoes across the plains of Mali. The boy who could not walk became the Lion King of Africa.